Hello, everybody. Cyanesque111 here, and welcome to what I think is my true final session with the main portion of Not for Broadcast. And once again, as a reminder, this is my support both run, where I have to support both Advance and Disrupt, no matter the cost. Supporting Advance is truly taking its toll on Alex Winston's family, and I've already seen that Alex and Sam have already filed for divorce over Alex supporting Disrupt. No. I've already seen that Alex and Sam have already begun divorce processing after Alex supports Advance even after they killed Susie with nuclear blasts. And I'm very anxious about what's going to happen to their relationship next. But we'll get to that later. For now, it's time for day 913, an important review. You arrive at work a little early, despite a stressful journey in. You still aren't quite sure of everything that happened, though if the swarm of CCOs all over the building is anything to go by, this isn't just a Channel 1 matter. This is confirmed when you are informed you need to speak with Mr. Bozeman immediately and are escorted into his office. You sit nervously outside, waiting for your boss. A few minutes later, the boss man arrives, disheveled, and with a stern-looking CCO in tow. Ah yes, Winston. Good. This is Specialist Abels. She will be observing this interview. Please come inside and take a seat. The ruddy-faced man bustles into his office and leaves the door open for you to follow. The few times you've been here before, it was immaculate, with everything in its proper place. Not so today. Must be serious for Bozeman to be this flustered. So, Alex, do you know why you're here today? Bozeman's eyes are sharp, and his gaze is fixed on your face from across the desk. Abels is standing behind you, out of sight but definitely not out of mind. Not really, no. I wasn't involved with anything that happened yesterday. Oh, the music just got more intense. What happened last night was nothing short of the culmination of a heinous and outrageous campaign of terror that Disrupt have been reaping on this nation and its territories. Bozeman shoots a glance behind you to your left, where your CCO observer is standing. And it is, of course, our duty to root out this rot, wherever we find it, to prevent anything like last night from happening ever again. I've been asked by Advance to perform interviews with all staff members involved, and will be submitting a personal review of your performance, both during the incident in question and throughout your time here. Only how I answer these questions will tell whether it will end or not, well or not. He shoots you a quick smile. Don't worry, it'll all be fine. Arranging some papers, Bozeman clears his throat and begins. Obviously, a lot happened last night and I have a number of interviews to conduct today, so I'd rather none of them take any longer than necessary. Please be brief, concise, and clear in your answers. I nod. So let's start at the beginning of the broadcast and work our way through. After the attack at the memorial, you seem to have portrayed the terrorists in a quite sympathetic light. Why? I showed what was happening. The news. That's our job, right? Yes, of course. And with everything in flux, you weren't to know what would happen next. I'm certain you did the best you could, Alex. You always do. Bozeman scribbles some notes down, the noise of his pen scratching into the notepad punctuated only by the constant tick-tock of his ornate clock. Hopefully this will all be over soon. Reviewing the broadcast, we noticed something a little odd about a particular camera choice. It was while everyone else was talking. Oh, where did I put it? Ah yes, here we are. Do you recognize this? With a flourish, Bozeman produces the leaflet from the notice board and places it on the desk in front of you. I assumed it was just part of the set. Why else would it have been there and on camera? Well, that makes sense. You aren't responsible for maintaining the set. You can only assume that what's there is meant to be, after all. You get the feeling that at least some of the above was for the benefit of the CCO in the room. Thank you, Alex. And again, for Abel's benefit, you're so loyal. Not exactly subtle there, and I don't know what he means by loyal. There was one thing we noted during the finale of the notice board. Bozeman picks up some notes on the other side of his desk. You seem to play an odd choice of sound effects relatively early on. Now, the script was expecting laughs, but for all three you chose to play boos. Why did you do that? I'm sorry. I was under the impression that I could pick freely. Did that change? Well, of course. Obviously, we want all of our shows here at Channel 1 to be as successful as possible, and we allow our staff a significant degree of autonomy. I'm sure no one would try to fault you for simply having a different sense of humor. You can see Bozeman is frowning as he writes this, clearly not convinced by his own words. Maybe he likes you more than you thought? How many other people would he be interviewing today? Towards the end of the show, there appeared to be some issues with the sensor equipment. At this point, Bozeman pauses for a moment, putting a lid on his pen and placing it carefully on the desk, perpendicular to his notebook. How do you explain the fact that you censored perfectly acceptable language during the final segment? There seemed to be an issue with the machine. Frank probably forgot to do his checks again. I suppose it's certainly possible the machine could have malfunctioned. Much more likely than the malfunctioning of such a competent employee. We'll make sure to have maintenance look at it right away. With the price we paid, I expect it to last at least another 20 years. Just like the last one. Bozeman chuckles. How many questions will you have to answer, I wonder? At this point, Bozeman took out a pair of glasses and placed them, somewhat delicately, on the end of his nose. Then the portly man leaned forward to examine his notes in detail. Now, obviously, we expect the odd bit of interference here and there, unavoidable. However, he paused, turning the page at an agonizing pace. Interference is not the same as terrorist propaganda. Would you care to explain how quite so much of their messaging found its way onto our airwaves? With everything else going on, I just didn't realize until it was too late. Out of the corner of your eye, you note Specialist Abels is visibly more attentive, awaiting your boss's response. Well, it's certainly true that accidents happen, and with the various stresses of last night's broadcast, I don't think anyone could begrudge you a slight drop in attention. Bozeman smiles warmly at you as Abels returns to their passive stance. You offer a strained smile back. A loud creak breaks the growing silence as Bozeman leans back in his chair. The tape of that poor Miss Brightman. Why did you play it? Help me understand. Why play that tape? As you meet his gaze, you're almost surprised to see an earnest concern in the old man's eyes. I was worried about what Disrupt might do if I didn't play it. You watch as Bozeman slowly cleans his glasses before answering. Well, at the end of the day, you chose to do it, Alex. I don't know if I'd done the same in your shoes. But I think it's clear enough that you thought it was the right thing to do, and that's all we can ask of you. He clears his throat and leans forward again, a smile once again on his face. I believe that's all I had for you, anyhow. Thank God it's over. I think that's all the information we need for now. Thank you. Could we leave the room? Could we have the room, please? This last is to the CCO, who grudgingly accepts, and you hear the door close behind her. Look, Alex, I don't know how involved you were last night, and frankly, I don't want to know, but honestly, It doesn't look good. I've done what I can, because I like you, but I can't promise it will be enough. Let's just go home for now. There's no work for you until we get a new satellite tower up anyway. As you leave, you see what you could almost swear is sympathy in the old man's eyes. Back to normal? I have a thinking face on. And I believe this is the day where I would have celebrated anniversary with my spouse, Sam. But I'm still a bit concerned about how much worse our relationship is going to get. Day 1217. A banquet for some. It's always a difficult time of year, even though it's been over 2 years since the divorce. Your anniversary always hits hard, and the apartment still doesn't really feel like home yet. You wonder if that will ever change. Just as you're deciding what takeaway to order and what film to accompany it, you hear a knock at the door. It's rare for you to get visitors, so, with no small degree of curiosity, you hesitantly open it. Surprise! You're shocked to see Charlie standing in the hallway, with a bag of food in one hand and a VHS in the other. Charlie! Please, come on in. I brought dinner and a video to watch. Charlie puts the food in the kitchen and then heads over to the TV and VHS player. It's this new martial arts film, Sneaking Lion, Horrible Goose. It's supposed to be amazing. Sounds great. And how are you doing? Yeah, I'm good. I just got officially accepted into the Community Cohesion Management program, which is really cool. He turns away from the TV for a moment. It'll be a lot of work, but I'm really looking forward to it. That's amazing news. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. He turns back to the TV, then pauses for a moment. I still miss Susie all the time, though, and it's weird not having you at home. He finishes setting up the film and sits on the sofa next to you. I know, Charlie. I miss her too. Yeah. Charlie picks at his food for a minute before turning back to you. So this movie, it's about this girl, who's heir to a legacy of great martial arts families. As he gushes on about a plot you can't quite follow, you smile and nod along, just happy to be spending time with him. Thank God I still have at least some family. If only I was still with Sam, things would be so much better. Day 1764. A job down. You're just getting ready to go to bed and read your book for a little while before sleeping when the phone rings. Grudgingly, you answer it and are more than a little surprised to hear Sam on the other end. Sorry, I know it's late, but I didn't know who else to turn to. No, it's fine. What do you need? I'm sorry. You hear a sob over the phone. Alex, I've been made redundant. And it's not just me. Teachers all over the country have been fired? I don't know what to do. There aren't any jobs. What am I supposed to do? You can hear the pain in Sam's voice. Whew. Sam, I'm so sorry. How can I help? I know I have no right to ask this, but after what happened to Chris and Harvia, I don't have anywhere else to turn. Is there any way you could loan me some money? Just until I can get back on my feet? So, is there anything that happened to Chris? In Harvia? Oh wait, Chris is Sam's brother. And he went to Harvia, and that was where one of the bombs dropped. the nuclear bombs that were launched by Advance. How much exactly do you need? Really? Just a few thousand should be fine, so I can keep my head above water. Did they say a few thousand? I really appreciate this, Alex. Truly. What would anyone think if you said no? But, oh, gosh. No, damn. Is this really the only thing I can choose? Sam, there's no way I can afford that. Oh, this game's gonna make me feel awful again, is it? Oh, I am so scared to figure out or find out what happens if I click this choice, but I'm afraid I have to since there's no other path for me to take. Well, here goes nothing. Oh. Okay, Alex. Okay. Goodbye, Alex. Sorry to have bothered you. There's a click as the phone goes dead. Poor Sam. You feel for them. You really do. But what will be, will be. Oh God, I am a trash tier human being. I kept supporting Advance even after my Susie died, and now I'm way too short on cash to support my ex-spouse. It's just awful. I really feel for everyone who's suffering like this in the real world. And just don't get me wrong, that does happen. I don't know what's going to happen to Sam now after I'm not able to pay her those few $1,000s. But I'm not gonna be able to know that right now because I have another broadcast standing in my way, which I believe is called The Sterility. And the new show that I am to be editing is called NNN. But of course, if you've seen my previous runs of Not For Broadcast, you'll have already known. Let's just go ahead and get this over with. Shall we? Okay. Day 1975. The Sterility. 3 years since the uprising.
Hello, Alex. Here we are again. I know things aren't as exciting as they used to be, but advances bring your daughter to work day initiatives would add a bit of spice to the mix. We make do, eh?
Okay, everything looks on. We're coming up on the final headline segment of the game.
And this is Jenny, who's the floor manager. Hi, Stacey. That's Colin. He, do you know, just don't talk to Colin. You're getting involved in bringing your daughter to work, eh, Colin?
No, we don't believe in it.
All right, come and sit next to Mum.
Just glad I'm picking a headline before the broadcast actually starts.
Not a girl. 10 seconds, everybody. Thanks so much. Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
I'll have to be on Megan for the start of this program.
Good evening and welcome to the NNNN. I'm Megan Wolf. And who's this, you might be wondering? Well, it's Bring Your Daughter to Work Day here at Channel 1. So I'm joined tonight by my foster
Damn, that's not very nice.
First up, with advance confirming that the nuclear fallout from the 20-week war is to blame for the drop in birth rates across the territories, we asked you what keeps you going. I know that I, for one, was quite deflated when I heard about this, but reading all your submissions has really put the smile back on my face. This is from Drew in Humberset. To take our minds off things, me and my partner have been building this house for our hamster.
Oh dear, I'm not seeing anything on the... Okay, there it is.
25% sterility rate. So next week, we're building Nibbles a tiny conservatory, a loft conversion, and a holiday home. Thank you for that.
I apologize once again for any visual or audio glitches that come from this game. Those really can't be helped.
Coincidences, and I don't know about you, but I think this one really takes the biscuit. I'm not sure what I'm more impressed by, Stacey. The things our viewers spot or the unbelievable way our menu centres are now able to feed every team member every single day. Catherine from Berkeldown sent us this, saying, I couldn't help but spot the face of poor departed Peter Clement in my fourth lager this morning. Well, I'm not sure if I see it, Catherine, but then again, I'm only on my third.
Yeah, you can kind of see it, but it's not clear to those with bad eyes.
Okay. We've just got time for one more of your stories. This one is an inspiring story of rehabilitation. That's it, just tell us who it's from. Yeah, and then read it out. Okay. Apparently, this is from Sherry in Pendant. Here I am, just 6 months out of betterment. I'm healthy, sober and working thanks to the facilities I had access to on the inside. I'll never have to go back to my old life of stealing cars and burning down charity shops. I just wanted to share. We absolutely love hearing
I'm also certain that you can hear this recording okay, but I always just increase the volume in the editor a little bit so you can hear it better.
Come on, give it a try. Let us know your stories here at the NNN.
Right, bit of a change of pace coming up here. You'll need to use the S-Effect buttons for the next segment, but Advance have already selected when and what to use. Simple stuff. Just follow your government orders.
Got it, Bozeman.
First up tonight on the NNN, it's time to celebrate this week's Team Lottery winners live from the
Team Lottery winners.
Right here in the capital. We're going to hand over to Julia Salisbury. I suppose you didn't think much of her either, eh, Stacey? She's got a lot more going for her than you, right, case. Okay, surprising vote of approval there from Stacey. Let's go live to that right now. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's Team Awards. Of all the many duties I have as team leader, this is by far the most pleasant. As I so often say to you, the uneven past is now, following the demise of Disrupt, firmly behind us. This is the future. And I say to you, it's better now.
Better indeed, with you in control.
I am delighted to be joined here tonight by one of the oldest people in Territory 1. He was born over 107 years ago. Please give a warm team welcome to Alfie Patchbadger. So, Alfie, you must have seen so much in your lifetime. What have been some of the highlights? Alfie? You alright?
His hearing aid isn't turned on.
Could you turn it on?
Please.
He says it drains the battery.
Well, will you tell him that we'll buy him
says that's fine then. And I will help him with that. Yeah.
If you would. Sorry, can't get the staff.
We got it.
Apparently his hearing aid's fine now.
You're 107 years old.
Oh, don't bloody remind me.
Would you like to tell the audience what that's like?
Where is everybody?
Well, out there, in the dark. Bless him, it's not just the ears.
Who are you? 2 sugars, please.
I'm Julia Salisbury, the Prime Minister.
I'm not. Who are you really?
No, I really am the Prime Minister.
Oh, you're you know,
Woman.
oh, one of
Women can do anything men can do these days, Alfie.
Oh, stand your piss, stand it up.
I can't say I've ever tried.
I didn't think so. 2 sugars, please, and not too much milk.
Should we get to the awards, Alfie?
Yeah, before my
Well, I'm not
thumb goes a little numb.
now to that, so...
When I was 9, I wanted a pet, so I asked the Mary Cat. There was no then. Back then, you know, we made our own to entertain out of cold and prone to kill.
Well, that's fascinating.
So they got me a pet, see? But it weren't a dog. They told me it were a dog, but it were a stone.
A stone?
Yes. So I called it Patch, which were a popular name for a dog back then, on account of the king having a patchy face. And I decided
Maybe you should have called him Rocky.
pretty little dirty people give up their own.
Oh, how romantic.
She threw my dog in the river. That was the day I decided I'd never marry.
And that's the secret to your long life.
Oh no, I've been married 7 times. Divorced 8. The mix up with the number 3s. Yes, I'm just... Are we going back to the old soon?
Soon, Alfie. First, let's turn to the reason we're all here. The weekly Territory 1 Team Awards. First up tonight is a lady who really knows how to put in the extra hours. She works at a transition centre in Hamble Bandlebury, and she has single-handedly allowed more families to unburden each other than any other nurse in Territory 1. In the uneven path, she'd have been locked up. Tonight, she is being honoured as a team player. Please welcome Daphne Snitster.
Daphne Sinster.
Are you here to change me?
Just give her a medal, Alfie. There's a good boy.
And don't let it steep too long.
I think you're supposed to give me one of those.
There he goes. Look.
I can't get the arms up any higher than that. You'll have to go down.
Thank God those fractious times are behind us. Now the territories are thriving.
Oh, yes. As the actor said to the mission.
Yes, thank you. I've got it from here.
Man, I don't remember the sound stuttering this much.
Well done. Daphne Snitster, everybody. Now, open your envelope to find out what you've won. Don't hold back, Beth. She's stuck with one of Peter's homemade Eccles cakes.
Got it. I won a holiday for 2 in Territory 15. Must be called San Palmerino, didn't it?
I believe it did. Yes.
Why couldn't we have stuck with that then? It's easier to remember.
We're all one nation now.
Wait a minute. Isn't it still on fire?
Daphne Snitster, everyone.
Oh, what about my change? I've been in these quite 3 days now.
We'll get to that, Alfie.
Hopefully things will get better in the next broadcast.
Up tonight is a couple from Barnley who, after a rocky start losing their family's ill-gotten gains to the Assets and Wealth Act, have really embraced the new future, setting up a community farm and petting
zoo in their local area for all the local children to play. Please welcome Otho and Lydia Jackson Randiganis.
Good.
You know, when I was in the trenches, I had a pal called Scotty Wilson. He was from way up north, so I think I understood a bloody word he said. But he weren't best mate.
Probably for the best.
And his best mate was Smudger Ames. There was him. Little Erie, unstable Terry, and of course, Lady Cindy. She was a girl, but she had a boy's name, so they shipped her to the front anyway. First girl any of us had ever seen comes up. Dead now. They all are. Smudger and Scotty never made it home. Fiddly got shanked in Petworth prison in Aldrin over at Orient. Terry Beard was perfectly quiet, you know. Cindy got a fatal skin condition. Scratched herself to death.
Thanks, Alfie.
What a head scratcher.
So, Otho and Lavinia, a petting zoo.
After we all explored our well, but we discovered there were actually people who would never even own a pony. So we decided to do something about it. That's the type of people we are, right? Advantage of a private education, probably.
Well, I'm sure we could debate that all night, but there's no time. So, let's see what you've won.
Get ready for pixelation.
Absolutely. Every citizen of the new future has my ear.
When Smart came to power, he took all of our wealth. He took the shirt off our backs.
Quite literally, in my case, I used to collect shirts.
Here it comes.
Have the record.
Okay.
Oh, security!
Oh God, not again. I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. Bennies and the news are not good bedfellows. Keep those flappy bits off my channel, Alex.
Will do, Bozeman.
And you are? Oh, no.
What's a go?
Like always.
It isn't right and it isn't fair.
You tell it, girl. That's my wife, man. Don't do this, don't.
You can't make trousers slide. It isn't right. We used to have 3 horses. They thought hung well. And now what have we got? 2 mangy goats, 1 mongrel dog called Kenneth, and a rooster that won't bloody shut up.
Can we get this over quickly with, please?
That's the actress sent to the bishop.
Okay, okay.
Oh, here we go. Hello.
No, 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 no. Get that away. Can't believe that should almost be over.
Oh, don't worry.
No, no, don't go there.
Protect you. Oh,
Oh gosh. Oh, I think setting the audience to hard was a pretty darn big mistake. I probably should have kept it on either easy or normal. Okay. There she goes.
Boys were boys, girls were girls. Everyone else would be crucified for circuses. Never known some of these circuses. With their big tents, their candy floss. You hear the music, the pipe organ, drifted over the nearby fields. Your uncle used to call it the most magical sound in the world. This was before she lost her ear. Now, to give it a particularly loud round of applause.
What's that, Alfie?
Just a ticket, Pat.
Well, that was an unexpected dose of naked nostalgia.
Naked nostalgia indeed, Julia.
That's why I look in joy and fervent admiration at the younger generation. So complacent, such a team. And with fertility falling throughout the territories, we should value a fabulous new generation now more than ever. Our final winner tonight is a go-getter who really went and got 'em, helping to root out more than 170 disrupt collaborators
Edwin Neverlay.
Oh, okay. Usually, tradition sends out you old long. Prime Minister. It's an absolute pleasure to finally meet you. We're very similar, in my opinion. Well, I've never been much of a role model. Nonsense. Prime Minister, you have saved this country. You have fought enemies far and under 6 and 9 things. As with my own tiny fists have I. Let's hope Below can find out what you won. Maybe it'll be a fist enlargement.
Let's hope it's not.
Let's show the fools where they went wrong, eh? Well, actually, betterment is about rehabilitation. Absolutely. And if they're admitted, we would have you. Just like you. And liberation. Thank you for this award. And stay vigilant. Report the non-cohesives. Be a team player. That concludes tonight's award fair. Join me next week when hopefully things will be a lot more normal. Back to you, Megan.
That concludes the awards.
At a highly eventful team ceremony. Any thoughts on this women's space? The nurse was fucking scary. The preteens were saggy, and that little prick will never lose his virginity.
Think you put there. If after the break, we'll be going to the studded premiere. You won't believe who's on the red carpet tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. And we're out. You know, somewhere else in this building, in a tiny
Come on.
by themselves, is out.
Oh, Alex, one other. What's that? You're off already? I know you had to take the day of work, but you didn't even... Oh, I see.
I'm gonna be so happy when this stuttering stops.
I'll speak to you later. Oh, Alex. Completely forgot what I was going to say. Blasted all. Still, lucky to have him.
I only got a D, but what does it matter? I just want to finish this game up.
It's 10 seconds, everybody. What have you been up to? What's this year?
Hopefully this stuttering will have
5,
ceased by this time.
3.
I'm starting to sense that things are
Back. Stacey's still here.
getting a bit more normal.
Thanks, Stacey. And in this segment, we're delighted to have sent Robin and Patrick to the movies. Yes, tonight is the world premiere.
Okay.
Of the Automated.
I'm not hearing any stuttering this time, so it should be better.
Canterbury Boat Shoe, and all the stars are out tonight. We first covered this film almost 5 years ago, back when it was called The Medicated. Then, for mysterious reasons, the film was suddenly pulled the night before its release. Well, since then, executive producer George Focus has spent 5 long years polishing the film and turning it into a special edition premiering tonight. With extensive state-of-the-art visual effects and a top-quality voice team, George says it's the movie he always wanted to make. Now, let's take a look at it.
The moon base. 3 solar rotations later.
I can't deconstruct it. I can't deconstruct it.
Thankfully, the last time I'll have to see that part.
I wish you were real, baby. Flesh and blood.
Captain Quasar.
But you're just ones and zeros, baby. Thought I'd noticed.
Captain Quasar.
You rested, but I didn't notice.
Captain.
I'm buffering, Nick, you said.
Got one on you.
God damn it, lost it all.
Here's a map.
What's a map? Okay, so head north on Interstellar, left in the asteroid belt, and a tricky three-point turn at Uranus. What are these symbols? This corner, this is the key.
Shut it down.
Yes, we can shut it down. But we have to ask ourselves, who are we?
And this part as well. That is so damn creepy.
Gosh, thrilling stuff. What do you think, Stacey? The robots were alright, I guess. They certainly were. Let's go over to Robin Short now in Western Square, who I believe has got the star of the show. Robin!
Right, you, shall we?
Yes, we are live. Western Square with a introduction.
I'm still hearing stuttering.
How has your evening been so
That's
far?
not good.
My most dear friend gathered here this evening. Well, really couldn't ask for much more.
Oh, well, on that note, with the walk season just around the corner, are you hoping to add to your collection for a third time?
Well, I really couldn't say. But if the association deigned to honor me for a fourth time, so be it. It's really not for me to say. But let's just say that I know of 3 little gold men who are getting rather lonely.
Absolutely.
Because I've won 3. 3 little boys.
More deserved than the last. It's safe to say that your career has gone supersonic in the last couple of years. How's that?
Well, as I was saying,
Wasn't paying attention to interference all that much until now.
I said, Stephen, you know, this really has been quite a ride. You know what he said?
Wow. And what do you attribute your success to?
Well, if we're talking actual numbers, I'd have to say 60% talent, 30% looks, and 10% passion. Brackets middle. Not to mention the incredible watch on election night. That really was the start of it all. That and my own range of sick bags. Lawrence's jump to catch.
Wow.
Coolio.
Forget. Well, it's been a delight talking to you as always. Thank you so much. Well, Patrick Bannon should be with Lil C for a conversation that doesn't involve vomit. Patrick,
Thank you, Robin. Fingers crossed. I'm joined here by pop icon. It's Lil C. And her father, country singer and alien worshipper, Billy Bob Jean Short.
Howdy.
So, Lil C.
Something's not right with Lil C here.
She's done.
Well, we love this look. Is it one of yours?
Wow, I don't love this look.
Do that anymore.
Yes, of course. Your clothing label went bankrupt, didn't it?
Yes, because a certain TV show
No crap.
fulfill their contractual obligations.
Well, you look great.
Well, that's probably due to her cosmetics and wellness brand.
Well, I'm not sure that it is.
Let her show you. This is our eyeshadow. She calls this one Glance.
Wow, it's scented. Wow, that was a surprise.
And this next one, this is our lipstick. We call this shade Lips.
Oh, wow. Why is it so salty?
It's organic. And this, our next one, is body spray. This is a body mist which rebalances your hormones and actually smells like fertility.
Oh, right, yeah. Wow.
Oh gosh, no, crap.
Burns. Oh,
All this is part of Lil C's new range, straight from
Okay, no more silly mistakes here. I've got to focus.
so,
actually have another album ready, but that's for the label to release in case she dies over the next 10 years or so.
Oh.
Well, given the way she's going, you might get it by Christmas.
Well, we better let you get back.
Now remember, we need the money. So, she's also available for parties, weddings, funerals, and bar mitzvahs.
Well, thank you. We'll see. We'll see there. Oh, it looks like Robin has got hold of Jesus. Is it obvious I'm upsetting Robin?
It absolutely is, Patrick. Jesus, how are you?
Yeah, you know, I'm good. I'm great. No thanks to you. Thanks to me. Thanks to the truth.
Are you referring to your attempt to incite violence against the democratically elected leaders of this country on live TV?
Yeah, exactly. And instead of being held a visionary, my management and agent, they all dropped me.
Oh, no.
You
Rough.
can't break me when you didn't make me, you understand? See, I'm the voice. I'm the hope. You can lock me up. Call the doctors. But only the moon can judge me.
So, what have you been up to since your team cut ties with you?
You know, keep building, keep moving. I'm actually working on a track right now. Written, recorded, directed, all by myself.
Can we hear a bit of it? I know I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure the people at home would love to as well.
Yeah, let's hear it, Jesus.
Oh, of course, like, yo. The news tried to shut my mouth, but it won't be long until they go south. Cause my name's Big J and you can't stop me. See, no censorship can stop me. That's all I've got at the moment.
Did you just rhyme me?
That's pretty much all Bozeman wants to hear.
And he promised this wouldn't happen again. You're supposed to clap and say, well done, Julian, well done. Thank you. Thank you. Now, ask me a polite question, and I won't play nicely.
Is it true that you're heir to a hotel chain?
What? I didn't hear that.
And that you're very much alive parents?
La 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 la.
Massive
La 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 la
financial
la la
holding.
la.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to censor me? Oh, Jesus there. It really does seem to be going from strength to something. There are just so many stars here tonight, Megan. It really is the who's who of whatever here.
Of the who's who.
See if I can grab a moment with someone rather special. I hope you're not too jealous, Megan. Back to you.
Thanks, Robin. But I think Stacey and I are probably in quite enough trouble where we are. So, 3 big names there, Stacey. Yeah, big names. Thoughts about them, maybe from your generation's perspective? You won't like my opinion. Go on, try me. Well, Bumbalonk is so old he's like 1 week away from the transition centre, so who cares? And Lil C was cool when I was like 12 or something, but now she's just another fucking loony. And Jesus is a disrupt-loving wanker who should have died with the rest of them 3 years ago. You're right. You agree with me? No, you're right, I don't like your opinion. But thankfully, we can go back to Patrick now, who has another familiar face to catch up with. Oh, Patrick, what's the atmosphere like there?
It's absolutely electric, Megan. I can't quite believe it either, but she's here. It's
Crazy Neil.
Hey, hi, ho, how you doing?
Neil, our audience is just stunning. They've really connected with your ads over the years. What's it like suddenly being so popular?
It's crazy. People stop me in the streets, they expose themselves, they write me threatening letters. You know, the stalker has become the stalky. A real taste of Neil's own medicine, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and what's been the most challenging?
Bang, bang, bang.
Places like this, you know, being around actors and rock stars, they're real crazy. And Crazy Neil knows crazy. And I'm used to being the loudest whack job in the room.
Yes, I can imagine.
But I know what you're thinking. Hey, Neil, where's the crazy deal? We got crazy deals on chairs. You ever sit in a chair to knock your socks off?
No, I can't say that I have.
Makes a mess of the carpet. But what do you say? We got a deal?
Well,
Well, what about Betty Andrews' handbag? Real leather.
It's real cheap, and it even contains our hot medicine. Spicy. You've got the chair. You've got the bag. You're really busting my balls. What can I do to convince you? Let me throw in my wife, Mrs. Neal. It's the latest model. Not a scratch on her. Pearls like a charm. What do you say? We got a deal.
Look, I can't take your wife.
Yes, you can. I got loads of them. Come on down. Crazy.
Pretty much no one can take your wife, Crazy Neal.
We got crazy deals on meals. We got crazy deals on wheels.
It would essentially be the same as a divorce,
We've even got endangered
like what I just went through.
with endangered seals. Yeah.
Thank you, Neil. Well, it's always a dream come true to meet a hero. How about that, Megan? The man himself. Aren't we lucky? Back to you.
Thanks, Patrick. What a colourful interview there on what looks like an amazing night. They certainly know how to make an entrance. And the automated really does seem to have unstoppable written all over it, because despite Boris Hawsey in Hours magazine calling it Lawrence Blunderclatch's overly long suicide note, in a review which ends with the words, and he hasn't even had the decency to see it through, the film, which is free to all residents of the territories, has seen record pre-bookings and looks set to run for months and months. But let's go back to those lucky few seeing it tonight. Oh, I'm so jealous. Robin, you seem jealous. Robin.
I cut too early, didn't I?
I think it might have been someone's kids.
But I know, they just keep coming. And here are some more famous faces, or
Famous brains, I suppose. It's Dr. David Warren and Dr. Ingrid is also here. We have
Oh, it's those two doctors from Dante's Taint.
years. What's it like to be back on dry land?
It's so wonderful. I'm still not used to it. Every time I see the sun, I want to just scream out in joy. I'm grateful every day to your viewers for their support. Without them, well, we wouldn't be here.
And am I right in thinking that you two have a lovely little boy together?
Dante's 3 now, and he's gorgeous.
Oh, what a beautiful family. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to,
It's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
well, what happened?
Well, you know, the normal story. Sometimes things aren't as easy as they were when all you had was a cave.
And no sooner was she able to see me in daylight than she was zooming off with a moron.
She's not a moron. She's a doctor.
A dermatologist is not a doctor.
So sorry about this.
I'm sure she's got lovely skin, but I don't ask her to do a coronary artery bypass.
If you carry on eating those pies, you might have to.
Here we go again. Huh?
At least she doesn't have a PhD in biomechanics.
You take that back.
Well, thanks to you both for pushing the boundaries of human knowledge.
Arsehole.
Crikey! Well, the movies are
Crikey
going to
indeed.
start, so Patrick and I are about to share a box of overpriced popcorn. Back to you, Megan.
Thanks, Robin. Lucky you, and enjoy.
Well, let's see how everything goes.
It opens in cinemas across the
Well, we won't actually see it, but I'll see to it that things go well.
I'll go to the cinema details. Of course. We'll be back after these messages. That's all right.
Although the fighting has long passed, the dark clouds of war still loom over our united lands. And we all know who forced our hand. The tyrants of the world would spread friends reach out to friends, strengthening and protecting each other through cooperation, through unity, as one. Advance. Always together.
Always together we are.
Welcome back. For our final segment tonight, Stacey and I are delighted to be joined by Heat Rash. Their new album, Girls and Why We Love Them All, comes out this weekend. So, let me see if I can get this right. It's Nolan.
I write the songs.
Ronnie.
So it says on the tattoo.
Oh, you've got a tattoo of your name on yourself.
In case he forgets it.
This raconteur, you must be Chinny. Why do they call you Chinny?
It's because of this I feel.
I don't know what you mean. God, you're so fucking embarrassing. Dale. Crikey, Dale, you do not look old enough to be in a band.
I get that a lot. I'm actually 23, the oldest one. I have a growth disorder.
I'm so sorry, I didn't know that.
It's so cool. It's only messing with you.
He's actually 58.
Okay, right, I see. You're going to
Right.
be a handful, aren't you, boys? You must be TP. What does TP stand for?
Tiny Brit.
It stands for Team Play.
I see. How long have you had that nickname?
Ever since Nolan decided to throw us shit name from every boy band.
No co, Ronnie. No co.
Sorry, what does no-co mean?
Ah, it's the opposite of Slowco.
Fuck's sake. So-co. Yeah, so cohesive. You pretees say cool, right? Okay, thank you, Stacey. Sorry about her.
Not your fault. She didn't need it.
So, you guys met through a popular show on one of our rival channels, didn't you?
Yeah, Team Players with a Z.
So, how did that work then?
Well, actually, Dan and I knew each other from school. We were actually classmates. And for fuck's sake, Nolan, mate. Give someone else a chance. We all went on Team Players. We all auditioned. The judges put us into bands. And, yeah, we went to their houses and they just put us into bands.
It's an example of how we're greater than the sum of our parts when we work in harmony.
And occasionally singing.
So every week on the show, they get these bands and they give them a song that the producer just found from under the bin somewhere.
Actually, I write the song.
And the public would phone in and decide which song they like best.
Right, so the losers would be eliminated.
Stuttering again.
No co. So no co. The band you get the most approval gets to play their song again.
Sure. So what happens to the losers then? What do I keep doing?
We don't use the L word anymore.
Would you please stop saying that?
That word is a pejorative. It's a word designed to diminish. At Go-Getters, I learned very early that only win when everyone else.
Sorry, that's not real life, is it? That's just sports board, no? That's just...
Thought you were so.
I am so good.
Nah, you're a shrinker. Can't be friends with Shrink.
She doesn't know what you're talking about. She doesn't understand. So I do understand her, actually. Steady. What's a shrinker? Well, a shrinker.
What's a pretty, Mum? What's a pretty?
Well, I think it means someone who's older, doesn't it?
Pretty territories. It's someone who turned 18 before the new future. We call you preteens. Mimi. Nonks.
It's not her fault she's old. She can't help it. I'm not that old.
I'm trying
actually.
to help you here.
I don't think I need your help.
See?
I don't think I need your help.
Is that so? Yes, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
You know what the real problem with you lot is? You just can't get over the fact that your beloved Disrupt are gone and you just don't fit in anymore.
But the truth is, this violent, loco, bricks being led by a fucking psycho. I'm glad they lost, and you should be too.
Not everyone over 30 supported Disrupt, Stacey.
Not everyone.
I would guess that so-called psycho would be Alan James.
Not if you did.
So go, Stacey. So go.
We've all learned maybe a little bit more than we expected to there. I'm genuinely delighted to have met you, Rash. And before we end the show tonight, I think you're going to sing for us, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. We're going to learn a song from Girls and Why We Love Them All called Pieces of My Heart, which is about a real relationship may have with an actual girl.
Hold on, give me a race, mate. No one cares. Go on, let's get on these stools, let's.
Right.
Righty then.
So, Stacey, can I get your contact?
Oh, she's 15. Go on, piss off and sing your song, Terry.
Right, you are.
So, here they are with their latest single, Pieces of My Heart.
Are you excited, Stacey? Not for me, no. I only listen to blip music and a bit of jizzcore. Pop music is...
Ah, yes, I know I meant to mention this earlier. Apparently, these newfangled boy bands change singer all the bloody time. Try and follow along, eh? Keep the shot on whoever is currently singing the lead vocal.
I saw you standing by the menu center with a brand new pair of Lakers, baby. Do you remember? You took the first of the pieces of my heart. Wandered into a bush and grabbed a vodka and stank. Took our assets and our wealth and drew them out of the bag. I gave you little pieces of my heart. I didn't know two hearts could ever feel like this, girl. It's like you were custom made for me by Remington Smith. I take all of the lives that didn't last and leave them in the uneven past. Share the new future as my bride. You snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times that you cry. As my old man used to say, you blow me away. I just want you to stay. I don't want you to pay. You make me crazier than Neil today. On Liberation Night, girl, I was sitting beside you. We sat there shaking all the way through incisors. We held each other as things fell apart. We took a train through all the territories and we threw away the rules and wrote our personal stories. You took a dozen pieces of my heart. I didn't know that life could ever be like this, girl. It's like you were custom made for me by Remington Smith. I take all of the loves that didn't last. I leave them in the uneven past. Share the new future as my bride. Snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times you have cried. That's my old man used to say. Blow me away. I just want you to stay. I just want you to play. You make me crazier than Neil. Make me crazier than Neil today. And now I'm staring at your membership card. There's your picture beaming brighter than a handful of flaws. I'm trying to find the pieces of my heart and leave them in the uneven parts. Share the new future as my bride. You snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times that you cried. My old man used to say, you blow me away. I just want you to stay. I just want you to play. You make me crazier than Neil. Crazier than Neil. Crazier than Neil today.
I didn't even pay notice to the applause button.
Best of luck. Thank you for coming in. Now it's almost time for final thoughts tonight. And I've actually asked Stacey to write a few, and they're just being programmed onto the auto cue now. Now I have no idea what she's going to say.
Neither do I.
Fingers on that bleep button in the broadcast room just in case.
Sorry, just checking to make sure if it worked.
My name is Stacey. I guess you know that by now. Don't know why I put that in there. Anyway. I don't watch the news. There's no need. You hear all the important stuff from your mates, so I don't know what's considered important anymore. But I'm pretty sure that it's not rehashed movies and fucking boy bands, so anyway. I'm going to talk about what's important to me. When Advance were first elected 6 years ago, I was 9 and in a home. Not a family home like you call a home. This was a state children's home. It was fucking awful, actually. It was like a Charles Dickens book. The roof leaked and the walls were damp some mornings, and food was bad. Drugs and alcohol were everywhere. No one cared. You had to watch your back all the time because there weren't enough staff to manage us. And yes, as you'd imagine, there was a lot of some bad stuff went down there with some of the staff. Okay. Not all of them, but the others knew, and they didn't stop it. And then Advance won the election. And like a miracle, things started to change. They got better. Had nicer food. The home was not just repaired, but redecorated and kitted out with books and sports stuff and musical instruments and video games. Most of the staff were fired, and the new ones, which there were more of, spent time talking and working with the bullies. And you know what? A second miracle. It worked. The bullying stopped. My life, got better. Because finally, there was enough money to do the good things, and Advance had the guts to do it. I joined Go Getters, and on Liberation Night, that gave me a group of friends that I could talk with when the bombs went off and the power went out. Another miracle. I wasn't alone anymore. And that was the night I finally understood the importance of being in a team. So here's my final thought. I know the people who were doing better under the old system long to go back. You say, we were freer, but what you mean is, we were richer. But for every one of you, there is 100 of me. And even now, after all you've had taken away, you are still doing better than I am, than I likely ever will. You still have homes of your own and families of your own who love you. And I'll never have that. So maybe you should stop looking for the worst interpretation of everything this amazing government does and realise it's not for you. It's for the millions like me. And you can cry and bleat all you want, but you're never going to get your money back because it's already been spent on miracles.
Stand by.
And we're out.
Beautiful, Stacey. Very beautiful indeed.
The dreary days are over. The uneven past is far behind us. The territories are expanding, with countries queuing to add their voices to the warm symphony of the new future. It's an exciting time, but there's one thing missing, and that's where you come in. Advance are calling on talented, creative people from across the territories to submit their most sterling creations as entries in the United Territories Anthem Slam. We're looking for a new song for the new future, something that speaks from and to your hearts. An original composition of cooperation and cohesiveness, a song of solidarity for a steadfast society.
I got a segment grade of D, but what do I care now? Let's just have a look at what I got out of all that. Sequence D, broadcast grade, I'm sure is a D. So I have a feeling that my payout isn't going to be very good compared to what I would usually have, but whatever. I'm just glad this is almost done. Whew. Now let's see what I got. A slight dock to pay, but my wealth still stays the same. I still can afford coffee. Although I don't really drink coffee myself. But yep, in accordance with the purpose of this run, I have supported both Advance and Disrupt in this run, and Channel 1 surprisingly still loves me. Now, real quick before this video ends, I do want to say that I have read on the Not for Broadcast Wiki that the third segment of this final broadcast will depend on whether you kill or keep alive Jeremy and Alan James. Jeremy Donaldson and Alan James. In the support advance run, I've had Jeremy be alive, but Alan dead. In the support disrupt run, I had both Alan and Jeremy alive. In the support neither run, I let both Alan and Jeremy die. But in this run, I only had Alan alive. I'm a bit nervous about what's going to happen during this third segment of the finale, if that has happened. But best not to think about it too hard right now. I'm gonna go ahead and take another break real quick, even though it's my first one of the session, because I only recorded the Uprising broadcast in the last session I had. But with that being said, thank you everyone so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!